Hey guys, and welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing a look with the Urban Decay A Born to Run palette. Originally I was going to do a 3 looks 1 palette video, but those are super difficult to film, and I really wanted to get this up for you guys so that you could still get your hands on the palette because I don't know if this is limited edition or not. So I decided just to kind of go in and do 1 look, and then if I wanted to go back and do other looks in the future, if you guys are still interested in that, I would do that as well. But so today we're just going to do 1 look with this palette. And I'm really excited. This is probably the most excited I've been about an Urban Decay launch in a really long time. Urban Decay was one of those first brands that ever got me into makeup, and obviously the Naked palettes. Like, I owned pretty much all of them. But recently my makeup wants and needs have just changed a lot, and I just started moving on to other brands. Nothing against Urban Decay, they're a great brand. It's just, I kind of just started to drift away from them a little bit. But when this palette came out, I was so excited. I think it's such a beautiful, versatile palette. I mean, you have every single color range in here that you could possibly want. You have your like blues and greens, you have like peachy colors, you have pinks, purples, warm tones. It's a beautiful palette. I think it's very versatile. You could do a lot with it. If you are someone who only owns 1 or 2 eyeshadow palettes, this would be a great one to add to your collection because it has so many different things you can do with it. The shadows are really nicely pigmented. They are not overly pigmented like the ABH shadows, for example, where they're hard to work with. They just give the nice pigmentation on the eye. They're super easy to blend. So I really actually love this formula. I think it's amazing. They did a really good job with the formula. I have played around with a bunch of the colors. I haven't played around too much with these blues and greens yet. I haven't had the guts to do that yet, but I pretty much played with all the colors from like this area. It's really just this corner over here that I really haven't played with. But yeah, so we're gonna dive into this today. I can't decide what I want to do. I think I want to do like a peachy, purpley pink look, which is not something I normally do. We normally stick to very neutral tones here, but I really want to use these shades down here, maybe that shade. We're gonna see what we get into. But yeah, so we're gonna dive on in. I've already done my foundation and concealer and kind of prepped my skin just to kind of move this video along a little quicker. If you want to know what I'm wearing on my skin, I will have those details in the description box. I'm going to do my eyes and then finish off the cheeks and stuff with you guys here and the lip, but the foundation and all that has already been done. So yeah, we're going to dive right in. Sorry, my phone keeps buzzing over here. I need to push that away. So the first thing that I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take the shade Still Shot, which is this really beautiful peachy color right here. Sorry, I gotta peek around, make sure I'm actually showing you the right color. And I'm just going to take a fluffy brush. This is the Moda Pro BMX 430 crease. I got this in a kit from BoxyCharm, I believe. And I actually love this brush for crease work, especially for laying down that first initial color. It's just a really nice shape and it's not too big. I don't know, it's just a really nice brush. A brush really comparable to it that's super easy to find is the NYX 16 brush. I really like that one as well. These are my 2 favorite brushes for starting out in the crease. Sorry, I just had to wipe it off a little bit because I didn't clean it very well. All right, so we're just going to dive into the shade right here. I'm just gonna tap into it twice. As you can see, it's very pigmented. There isn't a ton of kickback, but there definitely is a little bit. So if that's something you guys are weary about, just know there is a little bit of powderiness to them. But there isn't a ton of fallout on the eyes. I haven't found that to be a problem yet, but I don't know, I haven't tried every shade, so we'll see. So I'm gonna take this shade, I'm gonna start patting it onto the outer corner and blending it up into my crease. So I've been really practicing my blending recently because I want to get like a little bit more fun on our channel and do some more like exotic looks. But to do that, my blending needs to be up to par. So I've been really like playing around with different techniques, and this is what I've found to be the best for my eye shape. So I'm just kind of patting it on the outer corner and then I'm going to sweep it up into my crease. This is probably one of my favorite shades from the palette. As a base shade, I really love this like peachy tone. I don't know what it is. It's just really beautiful. So that's the base I've set down so far. I'm going to take a fluffier crease brush. This is just from a Milani set. It's like this little mini brush. I'm gonna dip into the shade Breakaway, if I can show you, which is like this really light shade. And I'm just going to use that to kind of blend out these edges a little bit. This is a trick I actually learned from watching Kaylee, MUA, I don't know her whole name, but she's a YouTuber here. She is freaking amazing. If you like really, really detailed eyeshadow looks, go check her out. I'll leave her in the description box. She does some incredible work, but her eye shape is slightly hooded and mine kind of is a little bit. So I started watching her videos just to kind of get some tips on blending, and she actually does this to kind of blend the outside very seamlessly into the skin tone, into your skin, and it works really well, and I'm surprised no one else talks about doing that, but that's where I learned it from. So I'll leave her videos down below because she's incredible. But next up, I'm gonna take the shade Hell Ride, which is like this dark plummy shade down here, and I'm gonna start building that up in the outer corner. I'm gonna use a little Milani brush. This is just like a little detailing brush. There's no names on any of these brushes. I just got them in like some kit, I don't even know. But I'm just gonna use this to pack the shadow on and kind of start blending it. So I'm gonna start pressing this into the outer corner again, kind of the same way we did with that first shade, but I'm going to bring it in a little bit further onto the lid. So I'm gonna go back in with my first brush. What did I do with that? Got it. And I'm just going to blend this outer corner a little bit better, just so my blending is seamless. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take the shade Punk, which is like this brown, this warm tone brown down here. I'm going to put that on the very outer corner and kind of along my lash line and kind of just deepen up this look we got going on. And I'm going to be using the Morphe M321 brush. It's just like this little dome shaped brush. I like it because it's very soft and flexible, so it's nice to blend with, not too harsh on the eye. And these like darker shades, I like to start off with like no product and really build it up, because otherwise it can go from 0 to 60 real quick. I'm just using those same patting motions in the outer corner and then kind of blending softly a little bit into my crease. I don't want it to go too far up into my crease like the first two shades did, but I do just want to deepen this eye look a little bit. So I'm going to go back into the Milani brush and just blend these edges a little bit. So now I really want to take the shade Wild Heart and put that on the lid, but I first think I'm going to kind of cut my crease a little bit. We're not going to do it like the whole crease, just do like a half cut crease, because I'm not very good at this. But for some reason, I'm going to try it today. So I'm just going to take my NARS concealer. This is the Soft Matte Complete Concealer, and a little shadow brush. This is like a no name. I don't even know where I got this. I think this came in like a kit my boyfriend got me. And they're really, really thin shader brushes, so they're great for cutting the crease. Who would have thought? But I'm just gonna like layer on the concealer onto this brush so that it gets very thin, and I'm gonna try and cut the crease. Let's see how this goes. I've been practicing this a lot, but okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my finger and pat down the center just to blend it so it's not very harsh. And that is my cut crease so far. I mean, it's not the best cut crease ever, but we're getting there, okay? Practice, practice. So now I'm just going to take the shade Wild Heart, and I'm just going to apply that with my finger over top of that concealer. It just looks like this really pretty, like, satiny pink shade. So I got a little bit on my inner corner, but that's okay. We're just gonna quickly wipe it off, good enough. And now I'm just going to take that original blending brush that I had and take a little bit of Hellride and Wild Heart on my brush and just kind of blend this together. And since some of that shade Punk kind of got removed when we were blending those shades together, I'm just going to apply a little bit more to the outer corner just to kind of intensify that again. Okay, so now we're just going to do the lower lash line quickly and then we'll move along. Well, I'm going to go do this side, then we'll move along. I'm just going to take the first brush we used and take that first color still shot and just run a little bit of that on my lower lash line. Just to set a base. I want to make sure I'm blending it into the shadow on the top. We're literally just going to take all of the colors that we used on the top and repeat them on the bottom. So I'm just going to take this small Morphe brush, I just cleaned it off quickly. And I'm going to take a mixture of Hellride and Punk and apply that to the lower lash line. Sorry, you can't see that. So now what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shade Stranded, which is like the champagne-y shade right here, and pop that on the inner corner of my eye. Just going to use my finger to do this. So that is the finished look on this one side. I'm going to do this other eye and then I'll be back to finish the face. So here's the finished look. I just popped on some mascara. I used the Marc Jacobs, I don't even know what this is called, the Velvet Noir mascara. And I just popped in some Marc Jacobs Rococo in my waterline. And yeah, so that's the finished look. I really love this palette. I think you can create so many beautiful different looks with it. And I think this might be my favorite look that I've done so far. It's definitely the most out of the box that I've done. I really, really love this palette, and I think that if you are looking to add more color into your eyeshadow collection, if you're someone like me who really sticks to neutrals and warm tones, but you want to kind of branch out a little bit, I would highly recommend this. It has some really unique pops of color, but then you also have a lot of very usable everyday shades in here, so you can play around, have a little bit of fun, but at the end of the day you can still stay true to your neutrals and just use those shadows. But I do really love this palette. I think it's a great formula. I think Urban Decay did a really good job formula wise, shade selection, and definitely packaging. So I think this has been my favorite release from Urban Decay in a long time, but I really love this palette. I would highly recommend it. And definitely let me know if you guys want to see me create more looks with it. If you have it, if you're gonna purchase it, definitely let me know in the comments. But that about wraps up this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button somewhere down here, that big red thing, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you in our next video. Bye guys!